Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hey, I thought maybe we'd do a little vlogger style video. I mean, why not? I see other guys do it. It seems to work out for them. I personally don't really lead that exciting of a life to be making daily videos. I feel like I would probably start boring the crap out of you guys. So, you know, I typically throw a video out once a week, something like that, give you guys kind of the highlights. But I thought maybe, you know, we give you guys a little sneak peek into the day in the life of what goes on around here on a daily basis, you know. I mean, we always got little projects going on, and today's no exception. We have got a 2014 Mustang in here, and this isn't a flip car or anything. This is just a buddy of mine's car, and I thought, you know, it'd be a shame to go through the repair process of this and not share it with you guys. I know a lot of you guys like seeing stuff like this. So, you know, I took the liberty to go ahead and I did the body work. I'm sorry I didn't include you guys in, but hey, I've got some good body work videos planned out for you guys here in the very near future. And it involves a very special car that you guys have been seeing on another channel. And we're going to do a little body work on that, little patch, weld in some patch panels for some rust repair. And I figured those would make much better body work videos. And so we're going to do on this one, we're just going to do paint. So I've already got it to that stage. This fender basically got hit around in this area here. It pushed the fender in, caused a big buckle out here. So we had to kind of pull this out, push the buckle back in, do a little filler work there, you know, just a light little skim coat's all it needed. And then of course, same thing over here. So anyway, we're nice and straight now. This is all primed, already been blocked out, and she feels really good, really smooth. Everything's feathered out just right. And over here, we had a little bit of a fender or a bumper repair that we had to do in the same area where this attaches to the fender over there. And same thing, same process over here. It just had a little spot needed to be fixed. This has been primed, it's been blocked, it's ready to go. All we need to do is shoot a little bit of sealer on it and paint it. So I thought I would show you guys a little trick. Something like this where all we're gonna do is just a bumper and a fender. I don't see any reason why we should include the whole rest of the car. Let's get the car out of here. Let's just pull the fender off. It's 8 bolts, you guys. It's so simple. These old Mustangs are so easy to work on. 8 bolts, this fender's gonna come off. We get the car out of here, and then we don't have to mask anything. So we'll save some money on masking tape, and we'll save ourselves a lot of time, because I promise you, it's only gonna take 5 minutes to pull that fender off. It's super easy, and I'll show you right now. All right, so I like to start off down here at the bottom of the fender. There's 2 bolts under here, 2 little 10 millimeters. There's one. Try not to drop it like I just did. There's number 2. All right, so there'll be one up inside this door jamb too. Check it out. They kind of hide this one from you a little bit. It's up inside of here, and it's behind the wiring harness. I don't know if you can see that. You'll have to kind of shut the door just a little bit, about like that. Push the harness down, and there's the bolt right inside of there. Hopefully y'all can see that. But that's bolt number 3. All right, so there'll be another one right here. And the rest of them are going to be just right inside the engine compartment here. Really easy to get to. All right, so at this point, this thing's practically ready to jump off the car. So you have to be careful. Just like that. All right, so another little trick I like to do is I get on the back side of the panels that I'm painting and I clean them all off. Look at all that dirt in there. You don't want that in there because when you come across and you blow your color on with your paint gun, you're blowing through these holes, you know, you're stirring up dirt. I mean, look at all of that. So it can't get in your paint job if it ain't there. I just say get rid of it. It just takes a minute. I like to do the same thing on the bumpers, man. Check it out. There's a lot of sanding dust, sand, dirt, you name it. It's all in there. We'll clean all that out right now. And that's just that much less we'll get into the paint job later. I mean, you can spend a little bit of time cleaning it now, or you can wait and have to color sand and buff it all out of the paint job later. I choose to go ahead and do it now. This is way easier. Want to make sure you get all that dirt out, all those little marker light pockets, signal light pockets, fog lamp, all that crap. Get all that out of there. You might think, oh, there's no big deal it being up in there because a light's going to go over the top of it and you won't see it anyway. Well, it's going to blow out into your paint job, I promise you. And all you got to do is really just kind of come through here, just pretend like you're painting, you know. I mean, look right in here. If we don't clean all of that area there, like I did just a second ago, that did have a lot more crap on it, mostly primer, sanding dust, and things like that. You're going to come in through here, you're going to be painting, and you're going to blow all that dirt right out into the air. It's going to land right on your surface, I promise you. All right, so we got all of our parts staged, cleaned, ready to go. It's all wiped down. We are ready to spray paint. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to want to do, run a little bit of cleaner, some lacquer thinner. This is just cheap stuff. I'm just going to put a little bit in our gun there, and we're going to go spray some of it through. All right, so we got our Eastwood electric turbine spraying system. Man, this thing works awesome. Check it out, man. It's got a little holder. Put your gun in there. It's got some thinner in it, probably about right up to here. We're going to spray it through right now, show you guys a little bit of how this system works. Super easy, man. All right, just want to pop it on there just like a normally would. Now this hose is a little bit bigger. That's so it can pull more air. It's got a little on switch over here on the side. We'll just flip that on right quick. And there you have it. We'll spray that thinner through there. Make sure this gun is nice and clean, and then we'll put our color in there. All right, so here's our color. Just the cheap stuff. Just got this over at O'Reilly's. I think this is a pint, and I believe it was like 60 something bucks just for this. Color code PQ Ford. So this is a super easy mix. Pretty red. It's just an 8-to-4 mix. Get in here, do a little stirring. I've already been shaking on it, and the guy at the O'Reilly's put it on the paint shaker for me before I brought it home. So she ought to be pretty good. Alrighty. Let's get that on in there. Always want to use your strainers. They give these filters, these little strainers, the paint strainers, away for free. Always ask for them. You're gonna want to strain this stuff out. Alright, so here is our reducer right here. We'll probably just go ahead and pour this on up to the top. That ought to be pretty close. Let's do this. Like so. Let's stir this around real good. Try not to make too big of a mess, and then we'll pour it into the gun. Alright, after mixing that up for a cool minute, let's see if we can't pour it in here without making a ginormous freaking mess. Oh, and the answer is no? I don't know. I guess that's not too bad. Alright, let's get that full. I'm probably using way too much, but that's better than not having enough, right? Get our cap back on there. Okay, as always, we're gonna wipe over this thing with our tack rag. You wanna go kind of slow. I was always taught to kind of wipe slow, that if you wipe really fast, you'll generate static electricity, and then that kind of defeats the purpose, right? Because the dust and the dirt will stick to it like a magnet at that point. So, you know, I listen and I just do it slow. Better safe than sorry. Of course, we're going to do our bumper here same way. Start from the top, work your way down. Now when you're using your tack rag, you want to make sure that you kind of flip it over every once in a while. Wipe a little, flip it over, wipe a little, open it up, flip it over, and just keep doing that throughout the whole process. And you'll get all the dust off, or at least most of it anyway. All right, so we are tacked off and ready to go. Paint is in the gun, ready to shoot. I went ahead and sprayed a white sealer over our primered area. This paint is kind of transparent, so if I were to spray the red right over the gray primer, it would be too dark. So you have to start off this particular paint code calls for a white sealer. So I went ahead and hit that just on the areas where the gray primer was. All right, and same thing over here on the bumper. Same situation. We just sprayed in the spots that had the bodywork and the primer. So anyway, now we are ready to shoot our color, and we're going to get on that right now. All right, so here we are after coat number 1. I mean, that's pretty damn good just for the first coat. And as you know, all you want to do on your first coat is focus on the areas that you repaired. That's that big area of white sealer. You want to get that covered first. Focus on that, your first coat, and then the next coat after that, you'll blend out a little further until you just kind of blend it out a little bit. All right, and then that's it. Now, when you get over here to the fender, it's a little different story. All right, so we've got to focus our color down here. We don't want our color to come up past this body line. The reason being is because your hood obviously is going to be here, and if there's a chance, and there's always a chance that the color won't match 100% perfectly. That's why we blend. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to blend my color out here. We're going to come through here. We're going to kind of blend this color out. We're going to blend it around in this area, keeping it away from the door. We don't want to bring our color all the way out to the end of this panel, because if there's a slight variation in the shade, it won't match the door. So we want to keep our blend a little further back this way and just kind of blend it into its natural color a little bit. Stay away from up here, keep it down here. We'll come in with another coat, blend it all out really well, and it'll probably be okay at that point, but if need be, we'll put on another coat after that until we get our blends just right. And then after that, it'll be clear coat time, because remember, this is a 2-stage paint job. Normally when we do these flip cars, we do single stage, quick, easy, cheap. You just shoot it on there and you're done. There's no clear coat. The clear coat's made into the paint already. It comes out shiny. You see what I'm saying? This is different. This is a base coat, which is your color, and then a clear coat goes on top of that. So let's get our color done and move on to that clear coat stage. All right, so after my second coat, man, everything's blended out, looking really nice. This guy, he decided he's going to join the party. Can y'all see him there? Well, all you got to do is wait for that to dry, and look, he'll come right off of there, no problem at all. And we'll put one more coat, all right, and that's it. It'll be good to go, ready for clear coat. All right, there it is. I think that's gonna work. I think it all blended out just right. You can't tell where the new stuff ends and the old begins, which is exactly what you want. And like I said before, we stayed away from up here. We focused our spray pattern right through here, just below the body line. So when our bumper bolts up, it'll bolt up right here and it'll match fine because that's where we painted the bumper as well. I think this blended out very good too. All right, so here's our clear coat. And here we go, it's got our hardener here. 4-to-1 mix, 4 parts clear, 1 part of the hardener, the activator. We're gonna go to our 4-to-1 mix right here on our mixing cup here. 4-to-1, all right, so easy enough, right? So all we're gonna do is we're gonna pour this up to the number 4. About right in there somewhere. Try to do this without making too big of a mess. There we are, number 4. Now we're gonna take our activator here and we're gonna pour this up to the next number 4. Somewhere about right in there. All right. All right, easy enough, right? Got our stick here. Take this, put this on your cup. Now let's stir this up really nice. All right, so just like we did with our paint, we stirred this around for a good minute. Now we're going to pour it through the strainer into the gun. There you have it. Let's get the lid popped on there, start spraying. Hey, did you guys know that you can actually tack your base coat before you clear it? As long as you let it dry to the touch, you can get in here with a tack cloth. I like these blue ones because they're not quite as sticky as those other crystal tack rags, the tan colored ones I was using earlier. And it seems to work really good. It just glides along there really nice, doesn't get stuck on anything, nothing like that. And of course the key is let your base color dry to the touch, and then you could come in and tack that off just in case there's anything gotten on there while you were waiting. You can see how it's got some red on there. That was from when I was coming through here and doing my blend. You know, you get a little bit of overspray, kind of goes out that way. This is a good time to get rid of all of that. And again, I can't stress this enough. Make sure you let the base color dry long enough that you can actually come in and touch it, and then you'll be fine. See that red coming off of there? Again, that's where we kind of threw our blend out there. earlier. All right, let's shoot that clear on there. All right, that's what it looks like after one coat of clear. Not too bad. We're gonna hit it with another coat right now. And so this will be coat number 2. All right, so she's pretty much dry to the touch. I mean, I could get in here and, I mean, if I push real hard, it'll leave a fingerprint, but I mean, she's dry enough that if anything lands on it, it'll be fine. It'll come right off. Nothing's gonna stick to it at this point. But man, I just wanted to show you guys the finish that Eastwood gun puts down. And this is unsponsored content, man. That I just, you know, letting you guys know. Some of you guys ask, you know, hey, how well has that gun been working? And it works pretty nice. I like it. And the cool thing about it is you can tell it seems like it's kind of set up for a novice painter. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I'm shooting it, I could go really slow, and it's very, very forgiving. Where if I did that with my regular paint guns, I'd be running, there'd be runs all over the place. It would look terrible. But you can get in here and really put it down, man. And it's nice and smooth. I mean, that's a factory-like finish. It's not too textury. You know, like, you know what they say about the orange peel. It's not too peely. I mean, look at that. I'm impressed, dude. I think it's great. I think it's a great little gun. I don't use my traditional paint guns very much anymore because I got this old air compressor over here. Now, this air compressor is friggin' great. It's huge. It's 80 gallons. It does everything I need it to do. It keeps up with all of my my body shop tools like air files and DAs and grinders and you name it. Really great job, but it's old and it emits a lot of moisture. And I could go in and buy a nice filtration system, I guess, but it's still, I guarantee you, you'll still end up with fish eyes and you know, moisture in the paint and things like that. So that's the advantage that Eastwood turbine system has, is that it's hot, dry air, dude. It's just, there's no way for it to get the moisture and the fish eyes and all the oily water, and you know, none of that. You don't have to worry about that with this. And you know, it just lays that clear down really nice. I'm impressed. We got a little bit of dirt here and there, but we will buff that out, color sand and buff it after it's on the vehicle. So I'm gonna let this sit up overnight, and in the morning I'll come out here and I'll reassemble my bumper. I'll get the fender on, then we'll slap the bumper on after that. And then, you know, if there's any kind of little dirt pieces here and there, we'll knock those down with some sandpaper and we'll buff it back to a nice shine, and this thing ought to look great. All right, everybody, it's the next morning. Everything's had plenty of time to dry. She's good to go, man, so we can start handling this stuff. Let's get everything on the car. We'll get this bumper built. We've got to get all of our grills, everything snapped back in. We'll get the fender put on. It doesn't really need anything, just bolted right back on. Should go pretty quick, and let's get it outside, man, see exactly what it looks like. All right, so anytime I'm putting a fender on, I typically like to start at the bottom and work my way up. That way I can set my gap starting from down here, working my way up to the top of the fender. It just makes it way easier, I think. All right, so I'm liking it so far. That gap's looking pretty nice. Let's get over here and set our hood gap right quick. Go ahead and put our little rubber piece in here right quick. That's for the hood to come down and sit on. All right, so let's set this hood down, check our gaps. You want to be super careful when you're doing this part, to all you new guys out there. If you're not careful, you don't have your panel lined up, you'll set this down and chip all your edges up, especially when you're dealing with doors. Super careful when I was setting this door, man. Getting in there, being careful opening and shutting this till I had this set, or you'll chip the edges right off that fresh paint with a quickness. So we're kind of taking it slow. Let's get this hood shut all the way. Alrighty. That gap doesn't look too bad. Let's compare it over to the other side. Oh wow, that's a nice tight gap right there. Gets pretty even all the way across. Let's see if we can mimic that over here. We're off to a good start there. I was noticing as you got back here, it got just a little, I mean really, I don't know, dude, we'll tighten the bolts up. I mean, I think we're pretty much set, to be honest with you. I mean, that's a nice gap. Let's see what it's like after we tighten the bolts up. Well, there you have it, you guys. Now, I haven't gotten to wash it yet, but been out here buffing and got all the dirt out of it. She's completely put back together. She's ready to head on down to the car wash. I'll probably swing by there, give it a good little rinsing after we're done here. And but I just want to give you guys a quick look at it, see how she looks. And I tell you, man, that paint color turned out just right. I mean, you cannot see where the new color ends and the old color begins. You cannot see that blend at all. Very nice. That's exactly what we wanted. So anyway, there you have it. Just want to give you guys a little update of what I got going on around here. You know, typical day at the Weird Beard shop. Just stuff like this always going on. You know, if you're not doing a flip car, you're doing a favor for a buddy, whatever. You're doing your own personal cars. I mean, it's just used cars all around, all day long. That's my whole life anymore. But it's all good anyways. So I'm out of here for now. I appreciate you guys for joining. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Check out my Instagram. There'll be a link in the description as always. And I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here for now.